Okay, hello algebra students. Um, this is going to seem perhaps like a strange video, perhaps, but um, I want to talk to you just for a few minutes about variables. Um, Variables freak algebra students out for some reason, and I just don't want that to happen because I don't want you to be intimidated by them. I want you to understand their purpose, and I want them to be easy to deal with. So, um, first of all, in the um, orientation review material, we talked about variables a little bit. A variable like an x or a y or a z, those are three common variables used in algebra, and so are a and b and c. Um, well, they're called variables because they can have any value. And that may seem confusing, but I was actually talking to someone about this, and they said, I think about a grown man, a friend of mine. Um, he said, tell him it's like a bucket. And he explained what he taught me, what he meant, and I thought, wow, that's a great idea. So here you go. I'm going to share the bucket idea of a variable. Let's say, um, um, let's say this bucket has the name x. It's a bucket. The variable x is a bucket. Into this bucket, we can stick any number we want. This bucket can hold any number. Now, the thing is, it can hold only one number at a time, and sometimes we don't know what number it's holding, but it's capable of holding any number. So we take this bucket and we throw a number in, and typically in algebra, you're doing stuff like operations on variables. Like, so we throw a number in, and plus 3, well, that just says, well, whatever number we've thrown into the x bucket, 3 is getting added to it. That's all that's meant by the expression x plus 3. So we could throw in the number, let me erase here. We could throw in the number 4, and then x plus 3. If 4 is the number that the x bucket is holding, then x plus 3 would equal 7. Or let's say uh, that we throw in the number -2. -2. If we throw the number -2 into this bucket, then x plus 3, because x is holding the number -2 now, this bucket, add 3 to that, move it 3 places to the right, you end up at 1. If uh, the number in the x bucket is -2, and so forth. So now, suppose, I mean, we can do all kinds of operations with this bucket. It might be more efficient for me to be in this mode, so I don't have to click that thing so many times. Um, Suppose it's not plus 3 that we want to do. Suppose the number in the bucket, I mean, we can do all kinds of things to the number in the bucket. We can square the number in the bucket. So then we'd be talking about the expression x squared. So if we throw 5 into the bucket, then x squared, if 5 is the number the bucket's holding, if we say x equals 5, if 5 is the number the bucket's holding, then we say x equals 5. So if 5 is the number the bucket's holding, then x squared would equal 25. Okay, suppose the bucket is holding the number -4. Then we would say that x equals -4. And x squared would be 16. -4 times itself. Okay, so and one more common, and this is perhaps the most one of the more confusing things for students. Um, let's say the bucket uh, gets the value in the bucket gets what we call negated. You negate a number by multiplying it by -1, negating the number in the bucket. So let's say if the number in the bucket equals 7, then we would say x equals 7. If we negate that 7 in the bucket, then we would have, then the negation of the number in the bucket would be -7. Now, here is uh, the strange thing for some students, and I understand strangeness. Suppose the number in the bucket is -6. We throw -6 into the bucket, so x equals -6. Well, if we negate that -6, we would have 6. And this right here is the most confusing expression, the most confusing thing for some students. When some students look at the expression -x, they assume that it's talking about a negative number. And it's not. It's talking about whatever number you have when you negate the number in the x bucket. If the number in the x bucket is negative, when you negate that, this is saying negate the number in the x bucket. When you negate a negative number, you're going to get a positive number. That's basically all variables are. They're buckets that hold numbers. If you think about it like that, it may help, it may not, but I figured I would make that video just in case it does help. I hope it does.